Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing today? Now listen, Linda. When I start my videos off with hello, 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 instead of my intro, I know people get real worried. They get real worried. Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't cry. Don't cry. Do y'all know the don't cry story? Oh my God, I feel like I tell the don't cry story. I just didn't feel like doing the intro today, if you want to know the truth. I didn't. I'm tired. I am tired today. Okay, number one, because I got a Kindle. Not a Kindle. I think I had a few of those when I was growing up as a kid. Oh my God, I did. I love to do like fashion shows. Y'all did dirty stuff with your Barbies. Oh my God, no. I love to play fashion shows with the Barbies. But anyway, I can remember, before I put on my lip stuff, I can remember going over to like my mom's friends' houses, and they would have like daughters, you know, and they would be like, well, she's not home from, you know, like dance practice or basketball or something yet, but she can go into her room and whatever. And I can remember they would have those like plastic, do you guys remember those plastic ones that had like the rusted metal things on the side of them, and you would open it and all the Barbie clothes would pop out? Oh my God. And then they would come home and they'd be like, what are you doing? And I literally, I mean, like, I had fashion shows for days set up. Oh my God. All the Barbies were named. Okay, they had agents. Listen, they had been doing like, you know, the cold calls for the fashion show. Some of them made more money than, they had whole storylines, okay? I love the Barbie dolls back in the day. My parents were very, very kind when I was growing up. Hold on a second. It's a little hot in here today. My parents were very kind when I was growing up. They let me have dolls and all kinds of stuff and, you know, all that. My mom used to say, she'd say, I wanted a Cabbage Patch doll so bad when I was like, what year would I have been? That would have been 5th or 6th grade. I wanted a Cabbage Patch doll so bad. And my mom was like, I think it's nice that you want dolls. That means that you'll make a great dad someday. But anyway, I don't think she quite got it at that point. But anyway, my dad did. But both of my parents let me, I don't know, they just let me be whoever I want. For my birthday, I actually posted this picture on my Instagram. If you haven't seen it, go look at it. And it is when I was like 4 years old. I wanted to be Wonder Woman so bad that my dad made an entire Wonder Woman outfit and like took like Hanes underwear and like painted it and all this kind of stuff. I even have like, and if you can see like I have like this little string that's like the golden lasso of truth and all that kind of stuff. And my Aunt Janny in Fort Wayne, Indiana, that I would spend my summers with, when my parents were at the tennis stuff. Anyway, they were the tennis championships every year. I go to the farm. That's where I got the farming part from. But anyway, I'd spend the summer with my Aunt Janny, and she'd send Tanya Tucker and all that kind of stuff. But she'd make me wedding dresses out of like paper, newspaper and stuff like that. I got all the pictures on kind of stuff. But I am so thankful. How did I start all this? What did all this start from? What was I talking about? But anyway, I am so thankful that I have parents that, you know, I said on my birthday thing, I said that long before it was popular, my parents believed that love is love is love. And they just loved me exactly who I was and allowed me to be exactly who I needed to be at that moment. And I'm so incredibly grateful for that. And not just the parents that I had, but also like my aunt and uncle, all my aunts and uncles, my grandparents. I mean, I just was allowed to be, unless I was at school. And when I was at school, it was a different story. It was a different story. But anyway, how did I get, what was I telling the story about? I was talking about the Kindle. Oh, then I was saying Ken dolls. Oh, that's how I got, see, it always comes, it's all coming back to me now like Celine Dion. But anyway, I love the Barbies. But when I was a little kid, I had I almost called her the shake and bake. We know it called no doll, a shake and bake doll. What was the doll where you fed it and then it pooped? What was that? Baby Alive. Oh my God, I had the Baby Alive. Actually, I have this picture downstairs. I probably at that time was like, I don't know, 3 or 4 years old. And I am like, me and the kids in the neighborhood have been playing in this creek all day long. And I am like muddy and my hair is a mess and all that kind of stuff. And I got like some dirty t-shirt on, a dirty pair of shorts. I don't know why my mom kept this picture in a frame, but it is hilarious. And I'm holding this raggedy Baby Alive by her hair. You remember her hair was like real ratty and stuff like that. And I'm like holding her like by her hair and stuff like that. It is the most hilarious picture of me. I think that if I ever write a memoir, my memoirs, if I ever write, that's from Annie Mae, if I ever write my memoirs, then I'm gonna, somebody said that years ago I should call it, I thought this was, I don't know who said this to me, it was some guy that watches my vlogs, but it was genius. I was telling the story about Wonder Woman, and I said something about, and I'm still that kid. And he said, you should call your memoir, I'm Still That Kid. But if I did ever write my memoir, it would either have the Wonder Woman picture on the front of it or me holding that ratty baby alive on the back of it. I think with her hair just a mess, baby. She needed a good perm all day long, baby. She needed a roller set is what she needed. But anyway, so yeah, that was back in the day. But what was I talking about? I was talking about getting a Kindle. So, like, all my friends have convinced me that I needed to get a Kindle. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like the electric book thing, because I read so much. I'm 19 books ahead of my Goodreads goal this year. Can we give some applause to that? No, it's not on Audible. Although Audible is reading books too, and when you say that it's not, you're ableist. Just want to make that clear. Because there's a lot of people that need to rely on Audible. So, but I do listen to a lot of Audible. I enjoy Audible. I love Audible. But in November of last year, I started reading this book called the 24 Days, 25 Days by Per Jacobson. And it's an advent calendar Christmas thriller. And my friend Nikki and I read it every day. And that kind of got me back into physical copy reading. So now, at any given time, I listen to one audiobook. The audiobook that I'm reading right now is called A Very Woodsy Murder. It is book 1 in a cozy mystery series, I think by Leslie Byron. And then I am reading like 5 or 6 physical copy books right now too. So there was that. But I was like, I got to buy a Kindle. So last night I got this Kindle. Do you want to even know about my life? Do you even care? Okay, let me tell you about my life. So I got this Kindle. It was very easy to set up, but I don't know that I love it. In all truth, I don't know. I'm going to try to love it. I am. My friends all love their Kindles. But then, earlier in the evening, I had started Bachelor in Paradise. And I was like, oh shit. Okay, the first is it every week? It's 2 hours? Oh my Lord. It hasn't been out for like a year. Oh my God, I miss Bachelor in Paradise. It's so messy. But this season, I think I'm going to do my video on my Peter Watches TV channel about it today. But this season, it's kind of boring a little bit. The Golden Bachelor and Bachelorette people, they all come on later and they party hard and all this kind of stuff. But they didn't come on the first episode. But do you know who is back? Is that crazy cat. Do you know what I'm talking about? Did you watch the last season of Bachelor in Paradise? Why do they keep on bringing her back? And what is even more crazy than that is, do these guys not watch Bachelor Nation? Like, all you have to do is watch Bachelor Nation to know that this gal she's nuts. She's absolutely nuts, okay? And last season of Bachelor Nation, she dated like 8 different guys, got engaged to one, and it didn't work out, okay? And so now she's back, and she's like, I'm going to do it different this time. And I'm like, what, not that crazy? But she is good drama for the show. So anyway, I already got my favorites and stuff like that. But I watched Bachelor in Paradise last night. And then I was like, I made a list of all my videos I was going to make. Oh, this is where we're getting to. So I was going to tell you how this video came. So I had seen that on, I was rolling through the Facebook last night. How you guys, I did this JoJo Siwa video the other day. Nobody watched it. Nobody cares about JoJo Siwa, I guess. But have you seen, so my video the other day was about her coming out with Kim Carnes' song, Betty Davis Eyes. I'm thinking she might be a genius. I was going to make a whole video about this, but I already kind of did. But anyway, I'm starting to think that maybe JoJo Siwa is a genius, is what I'm thinking. Because in like the last 24 hours since I made that video, I have seen no less than like 5 or 6 people dressed up like JoJo Siwa, just butchering the hell out of this song, this Kim Carnes song, okay? And I'm like really making fun of JoJo Siwa, but I'm like, honestly, as like a marketing tool, this is kind of genius because she's getting everybody to talk about her. Like, I'm like, this is actually really, really smart. Like, is she going to play dumb and act like, and she's going to release this song. But anyway, I was going through Facebook, and for some reason, I don't know why, I don't follow her or anything, but JoJo Siwa's Facebook fan group came up, and she had the thing that I talked about there the other day where she was going to release the song, the Kim Carnes song, and all this kind of stuff. And underneath there, they were just eating her alive in the comment section. I was like, this is your fan group. And they are literally eating you alive in the comment section, talking about how you can't sing, and, you know, nails on the chalkboard, and you're scaring cats, and all that kind of shit. I mean, they were coming for JoJo Siwa singing. They were telling her she couldn't sing and all kinds of stuff. So I was going to kind of make a follow-up to that, but I was going to add it with Jeffree Star. What you're doing is you're seeing how my drama mind works in real time, okay? So I was going to do a combination, because I was like, I don't think anybody really wants to hear me talk about JoJo Siwa for 45 minutes again just by herself. So I was going to combine it with Jeffree Star and his new boot collection, okay? Which is called, hold on a second. His new boot collection is called I don't know. It's basically, he stole it from Beyonce, the Cowboy Carter thing. It's like he would never admit to that. It's really kind of pathetic, in all honesty. So he's coming out with this very cowboy themed, and this is where people will say, well, Jeffree Star would have had to have been working on this. He has a ranch, blah, 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 before the Cowboy Carter tour came around. No, baby. Okay? Jeffree Star spins that makeup out. Go look at the conspiracy video with Shane Dawson. Look at when they started the makeup and when they released it. Okay? This idea came after Beyonce and the Cowboy Carter tour. And it's like, do you really have any... I mean, I said in a video not too long ago, I don't think Jeffree Star really has any original ideas left. And I really don't. Because this thing is called... the iconic, I thought we left that word 5 years ago, Cowgirl Queen collection. I'm like, what, girl? The Cowgirl Queen? So I started looking this up last night, okay? And I'm like, the first post that he has on his Instagram right here is him and one of his yaks. I don't know. Is this a pet yak or is this a yak that will be jerky? Do we know? Do we know how to make the difference between that? I don't know. Anyway, he says, Cowboy Friction. A little behind the scenes on set filming the iconic Cowgirl Queen collection reveal video for my Pink Star Yak Ranch Saloon. Okay, now what's interesting to me about this is that he posted this 3 days ago. It has 138 comments on it. 138 comments, okay? His release, now I just want to look at this really quick, okay? He has, I'm just going to screenshot this for factual evidence. For factual evidence. Jeffree Star has 13.3 million followers. 13.3 million followers, okay? And he announces his release of his new thing, and, oh, his last one, which is another release, 184 comments. And then the one before that, which is all the products that he's releasing, 93 comments, 241, which is where he announces the very first announcement of this. So he has 241 comments on this. Okay, so let's take this. 13.3 million followers, and his most that he got, what did I say, was 241. Okay, so I just want to go in really quick. I have to go into my other account because he has me blocked on that account. So I have to go into my main account. I just want to look in here really quick and see. Yeah, it's interesting because I have 49.1 thousand followers. I actually lost 100 followers, I think, just recently because it was at 49.2 for like ever. Fuck you that left. You didn't like my pictures? You didn't like all my animal rescues? I don't care. But anyway, let's just look on here and look at some of these posts. Like, okay, I mean, on my dog Boo Radley's birthday, he got 257 comments. How is it my dog Boo Radley got more comments on his birthday? Because everybody loved Boo Radley more than loved Jeffree Star, obviously. How did Boo Radley get more comments on his birthday picture of him just staring down the stairs than Jeffree Star got on his brand new release and a photo shoot that he did and everything like that? I mean, hell, here's my 30 years clean and sober picture of me just in a sweatshirt that says Sober AF, and I got 619 comments. I don't even have 1 million followers. He has 13.3 million followers. How is that even possible? Oh, here's my New Year's Eve post. I got 132 on that one of me just standing out on the street in a suit coat taking a picture of myself in the alley. How did that get more comments on it than Jeffree Star's? Or is he deleting comments because people are saying stuff? I'm confusion. I'm absolutely confusion. I mean, my birthday picture that I posted myself got 447 comments on it. Comments. Is my birthday picture getting more comments than his release? Than his release of his brand new Cowboy Carter remix. Anyway, it's bad. So let's go back in here to my side account so I can see his things in here. Okay, pulling up Jeffree Star again. Here we go. So as I'm looking through this, hold on a second. You're going to about to see the fantastic boot palette. He's going to open the boot palette for you. Why'd you come? Since you can't hear the sound, I'll play it for you. Why'd you come in here looking like that in your high heel boots and your painted on jeans? I feel like I've seen every one of those color variations and every other palette. That is literally one of the cheapest looking, shittiest palettes I've ever seen in my entire life, okay? It looks like junk. It looks cheap. What's he doing, okay? So I'm like, what is going on here? all the comments are like, yes, slay queen, blah, 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 whatever. So I look down here and I see that I think it's this Saturday, he is having a 2-year anniversary extravaganza, Jeffree Star meet and greet, M-E-A-T, new collection release. I don't know why he didn't put you have to be over 6'5", because he doesn't meet anybody unless they're over 6'5" in their DMs, right? Okay, so anyway, and then I notice underneath here that he has, that get your eyebrows ready. The countdown has officially begun. Our innovative brow designer eyebrow pencil is almost here. And I'm like, has he ever had eyebrow pencils before? I was like, I don't think that he has. So I look down here and he has this announcement video, okay? And underneath there on this announcement video, it says, the wait is almost over. Yes, you heard it here first. Our iconic new eyebrow products are launching soon. Over the years, I've grown out my eyebrows to test and develop my dream brow products, and they're finally here. Introducing our Brow Designer Eyebrow Pencil with its first-to-market blade tip and our Brow Shapeshifter Extreme Pigment Paint to transform your brows in seconds. Available in a variety of versatile shades. Mark your calendars. Our Brow Designer and Brow Shapeshifter launch Friday, June 20th. Now, what's crazy about this to me, okay, is that Jeffree Star growing out his eyebrows was something he talked about in TikToks, was something he's talked about for a long time, okay? Now that we know that it was to test out brow pencils because he was coming out with brow pencils, to me, okay, when Jeffree Star claims that he is one of the most influential makeup artists of his time, and that he is one of the most relevant people, and that he is selling out of products all the time, to see a CEO of one of the most iconic, in his words, hashtag iconic on all of his posts, the CEO of one of the most iconic, his words, not mine, relevant, fastest selling, most selling out makeup brands ever on TikTok and everywhere else, okay? Shit, like, grew back his own eyebrows to test his own eyebrow pencils on his own eyebrows, I think is a pretty big story that after all these years, he is releasing eyebrow pencils. So I was like, well, surely, and don't call me Shirley, and definitely don't call me Truly Brown. I'm like, the Beauty Guru Reddit has to have picked up about this because they pick up, and I love the Beauty Guru Reddit because they're very, very fair to people over there. And I haven't gone over there as much recently that I had in the past, but I used to go over there quite a bit. And I don't know if they, like, don't talk about Jeffree Star over there or whatever. I mean, there's really nothing. I mean, I went back, like, 2 months. There's no posts about Jeffree Star. Poof. There's nothing. There's nothing about Jeffree Star over there. There's like 3 or 4 things about Michaela Nogueira. There's like 3 or 4 things about James Charles. There's 3 or 4 things about Jaclyn Hill. There's 3 or 4 things about, I mean, you can go through here, Hiram Skincare. I mean, they talk about a lot of like lesser known beauty influencers, bigger known influencers. There is Kiki Chanel is on, they talk about her on here. There is nothing in here, Lisa Eldridge. They don't talk about anything at all about Jeffree Star. At all. I mean, he is not on here at all. And I'm like, okay, well, this alone tells me a little bit that you've lost some relevancy, okay? Because, like, you can say whatever you want to say in a TikTok with your whatever, but I'm going to your Instagram post, and on your very own Instagram, okay, of your release, you are getting less, on your first release that you did a whole photo shoot for and everything, okay? You're getting less comments on that by your fan group that should be so excited than a picture of my dog standing in the top of the staircase that I literally took from the computer downstairs for his birthday. You're getting less than that. You're getting less pictures than me of a picture that I took. And I only have 49,000 followers on Instagram, which, yes, is a great deal for some people, okay? But not for influencers. Let's just be for real. I literally took a selfie, okay, in an alley on New Year's Eve when we were at a wedding. And I got more comments on that picture than you did on your release. And you want to talk about how much money that you're making? Baby, miss me with that shit, okay? Miss me with that shit. So then, I'm looking on here and I'm like, and then on the Beauty Guru chatter, they're not talking about you at all. Like, ever. They're not talking about your new brow pencils. They're not talking about your Cowboy Carter remix release, Cowboy Diva, whatever it's called. They aren't talking about any Jeffree Star products over here. And I don't know. I mean, they've always taken issue with Jeffree Star, rightfully so, about all of his antics. But they do talk about other problematic people on here. Like they're talking about something to do with Skincare by Hiram. They're talking about other people on here. They're talking about other drama that's come out. And they talk about James Charles. And I was like, okay, so Jeffree Star, what you've proven to me is that it's all smoke and mirrors. Your numbers are smoke and mirrors because the numbers on Instagram don't lie. Unless he's blocking anybody that has a negative point of view of him. That can be the only thing. Other than that, the numbers are not, they cannot be true. I mean, I've heard for a very long time that he is like investing in his own money, in his own business, his own tipping and things like that to make the money look like it's more than it is. This is where people want to talk about how Jeffree Star is like a genius businessman, and I used to believe that for a while. If he really were, you would cut your losses. And what's really obvious is Jeffree Star Cosmetics is not doing well anymore. I don't care how much they're selling on TikTok. People that are on TikTok usually cross over to Instagram. Maybe not to YouTube, but please do not tell me that he is getting millions of views on TikTok and he is getting 100 comments on an Instagram post from his brand new launch. That is bullshit. And I looked and he posts constantly in his stories on Instagram. So he must believe that he must be getting views on his Instagram stories. So is it all smoke and mirrors? I mean, it has to be, right? To some degree. I mean, the numbers can't lie. The numbers cannot lie. So for me, it would be like, well, why are you keeping this charade up? And is that why the cowboy boot, I mean, it looks junky. It looks like a cardboard cutout cowboy boot. The pans look cheap in there. The colors don't make any sense whatsoever. I mean, he is somebody that back in the day would talk about, I picked these colors out specifically because of this, because of that. And part of the problem with Jeffree Star is that he has saturated his own market so much with, I did an entirely pink palette. I did an entirely purple palette. I did this royal palette. I did this. It's like, who needs another Jeffree Star palette? Because you've got all of those colors in one palette. I mean, all those colors that he's releasing, you can find them in other, and look at the palette. The palette is not pretty, you guys. It's not a pretty palette. It's not even really that realistic of a usable palette. So, I mean, I just was not that thrown out with it. And I thought, are you just throwing together junk now? I mean, are these just extras that you're putting together? I don't understand. Because at this point, and I've said this for a while, if Jeffree Star really has this much money, he's just at this like Louis Vuitton fashion show. He showed on his stories, like I think in Paris or something like that. He's with Lipstick Nick, which makes no sense to me because she's like best friends with James Charles. So anyway, Jeffree Star back in the day would say, I am done with anybody that takes the opposing side. And then Lipstick Nick is like literally hanging out watching movies with James Charles. You take such issue with James Charles, but you won't draw the line with Lipstick Nick. And never congratulated her on her, anyway. But that's beside the point. You know, I think they're all just a bunch of snakes that just want to hang out with each other and use each other. But for me, what I've never understood is, why would you not cut your losses, okay? Like, unless they're huge tax write-offs for him. But the thing is, if they're huge tax write-offs, like, he would have to be making a loss every year, because if you're making this much money, even to like have these businesses or these anniversary parties as tax write-offs, I mean, I just don't believe he's making that much money on his business anymore. I am almost convinced that in the next year or two, we will see a massive change, a sellout to another company, or he'll close down, or do something drastic is going to happen with Jeffree Star Cosmetics. I just don't think he is making any money off of it anymore, and he doesn't even seem that excited about it anymore. So anyway, but while I was on here looking, I found this James Charles deleted video where he rants and spews ignorant rhetoric over public disability aids. Okay, well, a couple people had sent this to me on Instagram, but they didn't send the TikTok to me because it had been deleted. So I was like, what is this? So it's on the Guru Reddit, the Beauty Guru Chatter Reddit. And it says on here, somebody posted it, and they reshared, I'm going to play it for you. It's James Charles going off about these pads that are outside of stores and grocery stores and parking lots. And so it says on here, James Charles, here it is, the post. And it says, James Charles deleted video where he rants and spews ignorant rhetoric over public disability aid. So this is him being ableist. So this is where James Charles, at this point, okay, has had sexual... Please, I want somebody to explain to me why this man... He is a grown man, okay? He is over the age of emotional development at this point, and neurological development. Can somebody please explain to me why this man still has any kind of career? He has past allegations of racism, okay, with the Ebola statements from back in the day. He has allegations that he has taken responsibility for of inappropriate behavior with minors, sexually inappropriate behavior with minors. He has had, I mean, so many problematic things happen through the years. He's lied on camera. He has taken no responsibility. He's blamed other people. He is now sided with an abuser of a woman, okay? And now he is being ableist. And this man still has a career. Can somebody please explain to me what is so grand about James Charles that we need him around? I need somebody to explain this to me because I am confused when I watch this. So here is James Charles going off about this, and I'll read you what it says. First of all, it says on here, truncated domes are designed to help visually impaired people detect key points in public areas using their feet or white cane. The bumps act as a warning surface. Open the school for James. So I'm just going to play it for you, and this is what he says.
You know what's pissing me off today? These motherfuckers. These fucking, like, whatever fucking bump shit fucking stupid ass things they put outside of grocery stores and airports. Like, what is the purpose of them? Can somebody genuinely explain it to me if you are like a fucking civil engineer? Why, on God's green earth, if I just spent $200 on fucking groceries, but I want to roll them over those fucking bumps and give my entire cart a seizure? Like my fucking cart in a bag is just sitting in my cart like, why? Why? What the fuck? Literally, what the fuck? Like, we just bought a bag of ice, rolled it over, ew, my fucking hair. Ugh, just bought a bag of ice, rolled it over the thing, immediately hole in the fucking bag of ice. Okay, just spilled all over the fucking road. When you go to an airport, like, why am I gonna sit there and roll my fucking luggage over that shit and have everything, like, jumping around inside? It's literally having a seizure. Stop. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, what is the point? What is
So, to be honest with you, I'm so completely disgusted by it because not only is he making jokes about things that are helping people that... Anyway, let me read the post to you again if you didn't see it. Hold on a second. Truncated domes are designed to help visually impaired people detect key points in public areas using their feet or white cane. The bumps act as a warning surface. Open the school for James. So he's being ableist in this. But not only towards that, but also towards people that have epilepsy and have seizure disorder by imitating what that looks like. And as somebody that has seizure disorder and epilepsy, I think it's really in poor taste. So anyway, I wanted to read the comments underneath here because I was like, this is so interesting to me that, you know, it's... I think that one of the reasons why, I think we live in this time period in our world right now, which is very, very sad, that bigotry is coming out all over the world. And to some degree, it's acceptable on a social level to laugh at things that are enforced in bigotry. Again, where it's taken 50 to 100 years to overcome that. But now, it's funny again. So, James Charles is teaching the youth that it is okay to make fun of and be ableist in nature. And I think it's disgusting. So, I wanted to read you some of these comments because I, honest to God, cannot understand why people continue to support this person whatsoever. I do not understand it. So they put underneath here, in a now deleted TikTok, James can be seen complaining about pavement walkway slabs that are raised to help blind or visually impaired people find their way around. This video is a repost that was downloaded from another creator in response to James' original video. Shocker, I know. The worst person you know just got worse. Has anyone ever told this person no in his life? Somebody commented and said, is he really that stupid that he couldn't think of a single reason those would be there? He's such an entitled ass. Somebody said, or simply do the research himself. Instead, he posted a video having a meltdown about something that he doesn't know what they are or their purpose. But it should be fine because he asked if someone else could inform him what they are or what is the reason behind their existence. They go on to talk about how they work with the blind, and it wasn't until I was in orientation mobility session with a teacher that I was informed about their purpose. Somebody responded and said, this was not a meltdown, this is a tantrum, big difference. So we're having a 26-year-old CEO, grown man, having a temper tantrum online. Okay. Even if he didn't want to do the research himself, he could have just posted a video. They go on and on. I refuse. They go on about his voice and all this kind of stuff. The only thing he doesn't lack is ego. Otherwise, he falls way short. Critical thinking, empathy, ethics, etc. are non-existent for him. He is as ignorant and self-centered as the day is long and should just crawl back into obscurity. Somebody said he's completely out of touch with reality. This is going to stop in a minute, so hold on. Okay, I want to get back to some of these comments. Somebody said, they go on and talk about friends of theirs, with disabilities, and they're going on and talking about all this kind of stuff. My opinions were already low, but it's disturbing how little he's matured in the last 10 years. You have to put in an effort into being this oblivious and flippant. So this is almost kind of what I was referring to with the JoJo Siwa thing at the beginning of it, right? That JoJo Siwa, which she's done a lot of problematic things, but I'm not comparing her to getting in a video singing Kim Carnes. I'll make this very clear. I'm not comparing JoJo Siwa getting in a video singing Kim Carnes to comparing it to this level. But what I believe is that I think I'm starting to understand rage baiting a little bit, that this kind of behavior is popular and gets attention. And way back in the day, when attention drove views, that and things like that, that it's really no different today. And so this outrageous behavior is what drives views and gets people interested in you again. And James Charles doesn't really care what that outrageous behavior is. He doesn't really care who he offends or who he hurts, you know, at all. Somebody said, you really do. You would think with his platform and his history, he would think to. I don't know. Maybe just Google the purpose before posting something. Somebody said, I swear he's always talking with his foot in his mouth. Also, why is he so pissed about this? Such a non-issue. And people going on about that. Somebody said, I guess, I don't understand why people want to watch anyone behave like this, but what I really don't get is what would possess someone to make and post stuff like this. Who thinks, yeah, this was awesome. Can't wait for my followers to validate my shitty behavior. Somebody said he was just inhaled too many fumes from makeup setting spray. Somebody said, is it bad him complaining about his ice spilling made me think, they're going on about the ice spilling. Probably, joking about seizures. Wow, so hilarious. Somebody said this was way too far down the page. Somebody said that's the part I was disturbed by, his reenactment of the seizure. I don't think he's mocking the blind. I guess I'm the only person who's not super offended. He made, anyway, but the seizure reenactment was quite gross. Somebody said exactly. I think he's just ignorant regarding the accommodations for visually impaired. But knowing enough to reenact a seizure shows me he's just an insensitive asshole. Somebody said it was kind of traumatic, to be honest, like he's reenacting the way that some people can die. Very odd. I guess he might be ignorant about seizures killing people too, but it was still really gross. I'm not going to get into my own history with that, but I mean, it's a very personal issue for me. And I just don't understand. It's not just to me that, it's just the entire history of James Charles and James Charles, one behavior after another. I mean, do we not have any beauty influencers out there that are putting out good makeup, that are entertaining and have any kind of personality on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, anywhere, that we need to continue to follow this person? I really don't understand it. I need somebody to really explain it to me. I need somebody in the comment section to say, okay, not some super fan that wants to come over here and attack me and say, I'm just jealous. Say that all day long. I don't really care. It's not the truth, but say it. But what I need a super zealous fan to say to me is, the reason why I love James and I will stick by James forever is A, B, and C. And explain it to me, okay? Because I'm confusion. I don't understand about it. I really need to understand why, after all of the horrifically shitty things that James Charles has done, not just put out there in the world, but done to other people. I need to understand that. I need to understand that, okay? I mean, we're less than 2 months out from him standing behind a DV abuser and not really coming out and taking a whole lot of responsibility for that, and manipulating his apology, and then not really coming out and saying a whole lot after that when he was called out about it. And yet here we are again with something else, and here we'll be again and again. And there's been like 6 scandals in the last 3 weeks. I don't really understand it, you know? So I need somebody that's a super fan of James Charles to please explain. Don't get mad. Don't get mad. Step right into your full fandom and please let some of us know. Educate us. Be proud of being a James Charles fan. Be proud and stand up, okay, in the comment section of my video and say, this is why I love James Charles. This is why I'm a fan of James Charles. Please let some of us know, because I can tell you, I'm not the only one that's confused about it. I think many of us are. Anyway, I love you guys and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.